Reggie here, your friendly neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another episode of Random Run. I have a love-hate relationship with the run that I am about to show you. And I have this love-hate relationship because I absolutely love the character that is featured in this title. I love some of the books that are featured in this run, but not all of the books. I am talking about him who became known as Adam Warlock. And actually had a title called The Power of Warlock, and eventually it was changed to Warlock. Many of you probably know that him was created by Jack Kirby and Stan Lee back in the 60s. They essentially created him as like a free-for-all kind of character, right? They created him, they called him, they put him out there for other writers and artists to actually do something with, and no one really touched it until the early 70s when Roy Thomas and Gil Kane kind of picked up the mantle and started to do something with him. And I'm okay with Gil Kane's artwork, but I struggled with Roy Thomas's writing. And he actually wasn't on the title all that long. I think he transitioned off and became editor, and there were a bunch of other writers that actually came onto the title at various points, but they kind of continued to write, in my opinion, in the Roy Thomas style. And I struggle. I love Adam Warlock, and I really want to like this title, but the struggle in the first half of these books is real. It really wasn't until what I'm calling like the second half of the title, when it transitions from Power of Warlock to simply Warlock, that I actually started to enjoy the title. And this is where Jim Starlin actually takes over. And you guys know Jim Starlin is a pretty solid, in my opinion, writer who actually did a lot of work to kind of lay the foundation for the Marvel cosmic universe. He actually introduced the in-betweener in the Warlock portion of the title, and then went on to do lots of other things in the cosmic universe. And you guys know I'm a huge fan of the cosmic characters and the cosmic universe as a whole. And maybe that's part of the reason why I really want to like this title, is because I like those characters. I like Jim Starlin, and I really want to like this title. So I'm going to end this preamble by saying I hope that you enjoy the second half, where we actually look at these books. I'm unfortunately missing 3 books from the run. I hope to do a couple of things. I hope to find the 3 books that I'm missing. And I also would like to maybe upgrade maybe 2 or 3 of the books in the run that are a little damaged. I actually picked the full run up probably about a year ago as part of a large auction purchase, and some of them are a little damaged. I like to upgrade them a little bit. I'm still going to keep these raw. I'm not going to do any slabbing with these particular books, but I would like them to be a little bit more presentable than they are now. So with that, I'm going to stop and thank you guys for continuing to watch the second half of this video. I hope that you enjoy it. All right, let's get this episode of Random Run started off with The Power of Warlock #1. This particular book was released in August of 1972. Gil Kane handled the artwork and Roy Thomas handled the writing responsibilities. This book is in okay shape for a book of its age, and also for a black cover. We have some craziness going on with the staples there. But it's not too bad for this particular book. Something going on right there in the middle, but it is what it is. Unfortunately, I don't have issues 2, 3, or 4, but thanks to the power of the internet, I can actually show you what these issues actually look like. Issue number 2 was released in October of 1972. Issue 3 was released in December of 1972. And issue number 4 was released in February of 1973. Thankfully, I have issue number 5. This book has seen better days. You can see a lot of spine ticks down this left-hand side and tears on the right-hand side. But at least I have a copy of this issue featuring a man called Doom. Issue number 5 was actually released in April of 1973. Issue number 6 has also seen some better days. There's a lot of spine ticks, less than perfect wrap there, and some things going on the right-hand side. But again, at least I have a copy of the book, right? This one was released in June of 1973, artwork by Bob Brown. Issue number 7 is in pretty solid shape here for a white cover. There's some things going on the left-hand side, but it's a pretty cool cover. Issue number 7 was released in August of 1973, and Gil Kane, who had been off the title for an issue, actually returned for issue number 7. Issue number 8 is up next. This issue was released in October of 1973. Set these off to the side here as we transition from, the first set of books that were really featuring Gil Kane artwork to transition to the second set. This is where we go from a Power of Warlock to a title that is a pulse-pounding premiere issue where we are just using the name Warlock. Down in the right-hand corner, you can see now at last, in his own sense-shattering mag, we have Warlock number 9, and this is where Jim Starlin essentially takes over responsibility for the artwork and also for the story. He is supported from issue number 9 all the way to 15 by other artists, but he has the main responsibility here. Issue number 9 was released in October of 1975. Next up, issue number 10, really cool cover there. I really dig this one. Issue 10 was released in December of 1975. Issue number 11 is probably my favorite cover of the entire run. This was released in February of 1976. Next up, issue number 12. This is an okay cover featuring some Pip the Troll action down there. This issue was released in April of 1976. Next up, we have issue 13. I dig this cover as well. This one was released in June of 1976, my birth month and year. Next, we have issue number 14. And for whatever reason, Marvel decided to go back to the Power of Warlock title there for at least one issue. Not quite sure why they decided to do that, but we're going to wrap up this story arc, this run, with Warlock Unleashed at Last. Number 15 was released in November of 1976. So there you have it. That is essentially the full run of the Power of Warlock / Warlock. I want to thank you guys for taking the time to watch this episode of Random Run. I hope that you enjoyed it.